Hi everyone, welcome to Balcony Talk. I'm Dara.
And I'm Vicky.
And today's topic is going to be talking about prostitution, strippers, and how we portray them, right? They're people just like everybody else. For all you know, I could be one.
Not me.
Not today, Satan. But anyways, Vicky and I were watching the classic movie Breakfast at Tiffany's the other day, and that's kind of what got us started on it because that movie is from the 1960s, which back then nobody really spoke openly about sex and prostitution and things like that. But in the movie, it's subtly implied that Audrey Hepburn, who plays Holly, is a escort, prostitute, whatever word you want to use,
and that's her living. That's what
that's
she
how
did
she
to get
survives.
by. She's a beautiful woman, and we notice, especially after moving here to Miami, I noticed that there's a lot of females who
do things
can
for money.
Work. They're beautiful females, and unfortunately, they find themselves in situations where they're having to be escorts, or they're having to strip, or they're having to be prostitutes in order to pay rent and put food on the table. A lot of them have families. So we're just wanting to know, how do we view these people? Do we see it as, they're doing it to survive?
And we commend them for being strong women to be able to endure certain situations that might not be the most comfortable.
Or view them like the average everyone else who says, oh, they're disgusting, they can go to school and they can make a living, but they're choosing to do this. Is it a choice, or
are they subjected to things because of the circumstances of their life that make it more challenging for them to work or to even find a job? There's a lot of factors that come into play. Think about Pretty Woman, classic movie. Most girls, I would say, love it. And Julia Roberts is adorable. She's smart, she's funny, she's pretty. And, she had aspirations to go to school. She just couldn't afford it. And she didn't come from an upbringing that allowed her to have those privileges and opportunities in life. So it wasn't that she didn't want more for herself. She just didn't know maybe how to get there, or wasn't given the opportunity and the chance until Richard Gere came along. We love that movie, and nobody seems to criticize that movie like, oh, look at her, So why is that? Why do we sometimes pick and choose who we want to,
accept it?
Yeah.
From? I don't know. I am a strong believer in the fact that people don't necessarily do it because they want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're put in a position where they have no other choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I can easily use myself as an example. I am not a prostitute. I do not strip. But I went to school, I went to college, got my degree in hopes and in thinking back then that I would never have to be in a position where I would need to do anything like that.
Or be subjected to it, That's the other aspect that people don't realize. You don't necessarily have to be a prostitute or an escort to be put in uncomfortable sexual positions. Sorry to cut you off.
It's fine.
But, for example, and I know that this is where you were going with it, or at least I think, Vicky is out in the field sometimes for when she was working doing sales, and she was put in situations where she was made to feel like if she didn't do something sexual or flirt back or whatever the case may be, or allowed a man to make inappropriate passes at her, not that she did anything, but I'm saying just allowed them to talk, then she wouldn't get the business. And I myself have been in a lot of situations where I would go to meetings to meet with men to discuss business, and I would make it very clear from the start, this is strictly business talk, and I'm here to talk only about business, and I want help with business. But somehow, some way, men turn it into sex. About, either wanting to try and get in my pants and be subtle about it, or I've had men be disgusting pigs, excuse my language, and grope at me, or try to grope at me, and I'm put in a situation that's extremely uncomfortable. And you hear about those movements right now from all the actors and actresses, and you think to yourself,
Me Too.
I think it's the Me Too, and it's like, I don't know enough about it to comment on it, but I will say this: I can believe it that a lot of these women were put in these situations. And sadly, it still goes on.
Yes, ma'am.
And I feel like women want to be strong, and we want to be able to say, don't touch me like that, or excuse me, don't make that pass at me, or don't speak to me that way, that's inappropriate. But the sad reality is, in society and in a lot of positions in life, men do have the power, and they use that power over women. And it's not necessarily that we're weak, and it's not that we, don't want to say something, but we fear that if we do, we're going to lose a business opportunity, or we're going to lose our chance at making money. Doesn't mean, don't get me wrong, that we actually do something with these men, but we keep our mouth shut when they say things to us, because we feel that if we say anything, or if we stand up for ourselves,
we risk our
financial security.
We do. And long story short, in my case, I moved here to Miami from New York with an amazing, job opportunity, something that I was told would save, my life, would completely change my life. So I uprooted my family, my husband and 2 kids, from New York to come over here to chase an opportunity that I felt was a no-brainer. Anybody else who was given the same opportunity would have chased the same opportunity. With just a couple months in the job, I noticed that I couldn't do it. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I could not allow myself to go out every day and get disrespected by these men. I always say, if I was having a meeting with a female, I noticed the meeting was rushed, and it would always end the same way. Females would not want to do business with me, and men wanted something in exchange for their business. It was always a sexual comment. It was always, a sexual pass. It was always, but what do I get in return? So
it was never about somebody just being a genuinely nice person wanting to help another person in need of
absolutely
work, business,
zero
professionalism.
I went out every day for 2 months in hopes that I would, secure an account and be good. By now, it's been 5 months. And it was a job that I had to let go because I just couldn't do it anymore. So I'm now unemployed. I've never had any kind of government help or anything like that while I was working in New York. But now I'm in a position where I feel like I need government help. Like, I can't find a job in Miami. My husband and I keep thinking about, going back to New York.
Not letting her.
Dara's not letting me go.
Nope. Not today, Satan. She's staying here.
To tell you the truth, I love Miami. My kids love Miami. Their babies are 1 and 2. And I don't want to leave. I love the lifestyle for them, but it's hard to get a job here. So,
and the pay is a lot less.
A lot less. Without putting out exact numbers, my husband was making 500 times more in New York than what he's making here.
Sad reality.
It is not enough to sustain a family of 4 on that income, even if he was to put in 100 hours a week. So it gets me thinking, are females in this situation? And that's the reason why they take drastic measures and go out and prostitute, or they go out and become escorts, or they go out and strip, or, have to put themselves in uncomfortable positions just to be able to support their family.
Or themselves.
Even if they don't have kids, they have to survive. So yeah, just a little bit of feedback on that. I just want to know your guys' input.
If you guys ever were in situations where you were made to feel uncomfortable, and I try to always be even. So we're not just saying this happens to women. It could happen to men as well, but we're not men, so we don't know. And I hate to say it, but I feel like the chances are probably slim to none. But I don't want to judge. Honestly, I'll even say, like, I was put in a situation recently where this guy kept talking to me on the phone, all these business ideas that him and I could collaborate on potentially. and he invites me to dinner, and he tells me that it's going to be him and 4 other guys to talk business about a specific topic.
She was so excited about this business opportunity, called me elated, because
sounded great.
She figured, you know, we were gonna be out of the hole soon with this great connect. He was a gentleman who is very successful out here in Miami
and well connected with everybody,
knows everyone. Was writing a book. Dara.
We won't give details about him because we don't want to make it. We don't want anybody to be able to pinpoint anything. Okay. So we won't give details. But
anyway, terrible situation.
So what we'll say is that he knows a lot of people. He dabbles in a lot of things. He has a lot of connections. When I spoke to him, he made everything sound great. You know, in a sense, maybe even too good to be true. But you want to be hopeful and positive and believe that maybe it is real. So I thought, you know, this is great. You know, he's professional on the phone. He's talking just about business. He's inviting 4 other businessmen, you know, to discuss this topic. And I get there to dinner, to the restaurant where we were going to have the dinner meeting. He's already drunk. He goes to the hostess stand with me, and I say, where's the 4 other people? Oh, they canceled, which was fucking bullshit, excuse my language, because when he spoke to the hostess, she said, oh, party of 2, which means he had already previously made the reservation just for 2 people, not 4 plus 2, 6 people. 6 people. There we go. I'm not very good at math.
We're terrible at math.
Suck at math. But you know, for 6 people, it was for 2 people, which is me and him. And we're at the dinner table, and I'm trying my best to just kind of be like, okay, whatever. Let me just flow with it, and you know, whatever. And throughout the night, I kept redirecting the talk of business. And he just kept trying to redirect it to trying to make passes at me, trying to grope at me and put his leg on me under the table. I'd remove it, you know, or, you know, just inappropriate gestures, inappropriate comments. And I know most of you out there are thinking, well, why didn't you just fucking punch him in the face or leave or do something about it? And the honest truth is because there was a part of me that thought, like, all right, maybe I had too many drinks or whatever the case may be. I was in a desperate situation that I was hoping maybe something of business could potentially come of it. Not that I would do anything with him, not that I would let him touch me because I kept redirecting it, but that maybe something would come of it. I was just trying to be hopeful. Now I learned my lesson. I should have just punched him the fuck in the face. But that's besides the fact.
Dara left that meeting
crying my eyes out, calling this one.
She called me. She told me she absolutely hates men. It's not the first situation she was put in where she's going to a meeting to speak solely business, and this is what it ends up being. You know, it hurts our soul. We don't want to feel like this is the only thing that we can be good at in life. Is, you know, having to flirt with men or having to be put in uncomfortable situations.